All right, welcome to the third episode of the Deadman's podcast, where I am your host, Papa K.
Don't say it.
And next to me is my lovely, bodacious, beautiful, intelligent, the most smartest woman I know on this earth, the most caring and most heavy-hearted, big-hearted, beautiful heart, most beautiful personality ever, my wife, Laura.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, you like how I did that? You like how I did that? I know.
That was cute.
Thank you, honey. Thank
Okay,
you.
Okay. Well, now I gotta hype you up.
No, that's okay.
I
No.
gotta-
You
I
get the
gotta-
special entrance.
I gotta hype you up
You,
next
you,
time.
you get the special intro. All right. Well, first off, I just wanted to start with how everything has been since we started this podcast. You know, I like to give updates on how everything is going, and
Man, my friends watch this now. That's crazy.
oh, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Hey, but
They're like, hey, I saw you and your man on your podcast. They're like, oh, that's crazy.
Really?
Wow.
oh, like your job?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have some people in my job that kind of watch it too. You know, hey, you know,
It's
the
weird.
more the merrier. If you're trying to get our name out there, you know.
It's weird when you think about it. Be like, yeah, I watched you. Like, what are you talking about? You watched me. I was
Yeah.
at my house? No, your podcast. Oh, right. I do that. That's right.
Yeah,
do that.
it is a strange thing. Oh yeah, we saw you on YouTube. You know, it's kind of strange. Yeah, but but the more the merrier. Trying to spread the word, get the Deadman's podcast out there. You know, so far, you know, the support that I've been getting is beautiful. I love it. For those who either watch the TikToks that I put out, you know, or you may watch the YouTube Shorts, which surprisingly that's actually going really good too.
Just in case if TikTok dies.
Yeah, in case TikTok dies.
Let's
You know.
hope TikTok does not die.
Yeah, hopefully not. That's why, you know, if y'all watch the podcast, if y'all see the episodes or the shorts, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, share it. You know,
Like the video.
like the video. Please
Leave a
like the video,
comment.
because I ain't gonna know if you like it or not if y'all don't fucking like it. So yeah, you know, the TikTok's doing great. We've grown quite a bit on there. Still trying to grind. Hopefully it doesn't die, so we can keep grinding. You know, overall, it's just been a really amazing experience, you know, promoting the videos, putting them out there, you know, just overall trying to get the flow of things, trying to find, you know, who we are on YouTube, you know, so, you know, if we seem kind of, you know, just out of it, you know, we're trying to find, you know, our presence on this platform, because, you know, it is vast. The podcast field is very huge, you know,
We're
so
doing our best, man.
yeah, we're
Don't
trying
be too
to
hard.
put our, you know, own, you know, spin on how we want to do things, you know. Just, you know, like everybody puts a podcast out on Mondays, so we're like, fuck it, we're gonna do it on Wednesdays. You know, we're trying to be different, you know. So yeah, you know, overall it's been
It's been a
been
learning
fun.
experience.
Yeah, you're learning how to edit, you know,
Buying new equipment.
buy new equipment, which will be happening in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. Once we figure out how to get it to work. But we got new stuff coming in. Trying to, you know, do something with the background too. Maybe put some stuff up there in the windowsill. I don't know. You know, just try different things. You know.
For right now. These.
Yeah. For right now, those. You know, those are the mascots. So yeah. Overall, you know, hey man, appreciate y'all's love, y'all support. Leave a comment if you like what we do. Just stay with us for the ride, man. You know, it's gonna be interesting growth. We're gonna try to grow, you know, at a steady pace.
We're going to be doing the things.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing all the things. Yeah, I don't even know where. So we're gonna transition into the topic of the day, which I was gonna do it last episode, but we kind of just was having too much fun, you know, filming. So I completely forgot to talk about it. You know, which is the whole point of this podcast. Mental health, you know.
baby.
Yeah,
Mental
so
health.
last episode, you know, was a light one. You know, we were just having fun with everything. But
Especially those Yelp reviews.
yeah, the
man.
Yelp reviews are great. Those are funny. We might do that again. But the topic that I wanted to bring up today was depression, and
Ooh.
we're gonna actually start off with you, honey. When it comes to, because you're with me. So, what is your perspective on depression? Having someone that suffers from it, and you know, dealing with it for years and years and years.
I think it's definitely not what everyone thinks it is. You know, like you're sad, you're crying in your room, you just don't want to do anything. Some days you are actively doing things, and I might not notice a big difference, but I'm able to see that, oh, something is wrong. And it's just, it could just be one of those days, or it could be something triggering that happened, or it could be an anniversary of something, or either way, it really just depends, because I've known you for so long and I know you so well. I can tell when something's up, when something's wrong. So it really, it's not always linear. Depression is not always linear. It could be extremely bad days where you don't want to do anything and you just want to stay in the room, which is fine. Or you just want to continue on as normal, distract yourself, talk about it. Yeah, I mean, it can be any number of things, any day.
Yeah, there are days where I don't want to do anything, like, and some days are worse than others. Definitely getting back on the medication actually really, really helped me, because like, it was bad. Like, when I was on the medication, like, when it hit me, when it came back, because even if you may not feel like you have depression, like, I thought I was good, but just one day it just hit me hard, and I did not understand why. People that I work with, that I trust, like, they saw something was wrong, and they pulled me aside and we had talks, and I would cry randomly. I wouldn't know why. I would think things that are not good, which I talked about on, I believe, the first episode.
Because I think the emotions, it could be you don't even realize that you're going through it either. Like,
no.
it could just be something small too.
Yeah, it could be small, like, and with me, like, mine, with how my brain is, something small can trigger me, and I won't even know why. It can be like someone says one word to me, and I can, it can send me into like a spiral of depression. It can send. No, shit. I wish somebody would tell me that. But like, I noticed that, like, there are things that trigger me that may not seem normal to certain people. Like, if I'm in a good mood, and like for example at work, even though work is like a terrible example, but we're gonna go with it anyway. I could be at work, and I could be in a good mood, and I'm thinking, okay, everything is going good, and then phone case fell. I could be in a good mood, and my supervisor comes to me, and he may not even intentionally say something, but it could be like a random word, and I just get triggered, and I just either go into depression, or I get angry. It's really strange how my brain works, but that's how mental health is. It's a tricky subject. It's a slippery slope.
There's not a description of every single thing.
No.
Everybody is different. Everything is different.
Yeah, everything is different.
So
it's like,
that's why, whatever works for you works for you. It may not work for somebody else, but
like, and that's one thing that if you are a person that suffers from mental health, like, don't be afraid. Like, I don't say don't be afraid, because you can't trust everybody with that kind of information. Like, for me, I'm blessed with my supervisor, even though he makes me want to punch him in the face sometimes. But I love the man to death. He's a great guy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said that at work the other day. I'm like, he makes me want to punch him.
Workplace violence.
Yeah, oops. But I told him, I'm like, I sat at his desk. I was like, man, sometimes you make me want to just punch you. Like, I just want to punch you. He's like, I know, man, I know. I said, as long as you know. But he's a great guy, and we have the open relationship where I tell him, like, hey, look, I'm suffering from this, and he understands, so he works with me. Like, there are days where I'm just feeling down, and I just want to stay in my office all day, and I won't be bothered, and he'll kind of ease up on me a little bit. But on the good days, I go hard at work. So
I feel like if I were to ever tell my supervisors I'm gonna beat you up, they'd be like, okay, I'll meet you outside.
He just looks at me. He kind of gives me a grin.
Let's go throw hands. Okay, I'll meet you outside.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I know I have some coworkers that watch the podcast too, and they love it. But like, they just love how open I am about things, because a lot of them don't know what I suffer from. And when I sat there with him that day, and I told him, like, I really felt appreciative of him, because he may give me a hard time and whatnot, but he cares, and he like, I love him for that. So I have that kind of connection where I can tell him, like, hey, look, I'm not feeling it today, like, just be aware. And
take it easy on me, man.
yeah, because he knows he knows that I can get triggered from random things. So he does watch out for me, and he tries to help me with anything I need. So that's something that I feel like everybody should find that person that you can trust and lean on them. There's nothing wrong with leaning on somebody.
Or people. It doesn't have to be just one person.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one person. It could be.
And don't feel like you're a burden to them when you.
I've heard that so many times. I've fall for that.
The reason that people hold stuff in is because, like, oh, I don't want to have somebody shoulder the pain that I'm going through. If they care about you, they will do it. They will do it, and it won't be a burden to them.
Yeah,
because you're not.
Yeah, I've heard so many people that said that before. Like, oh, I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to bother.
Yeah,
if that person, if that person,
I don't want to burden you.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot. And if you have to feel that way towards that person, and even if you open up to them and you tell them that, like, and they act like you're bothersome, like, that ain't your friend. Like, don't no. Like,
that's someone you should not trust, not confide in.
No, you shouldn't. And I've had people like that in my life where I was just like, like, I thought we were cool, but I'm gonna cut you loose, or I just stopped talking to them, because like if I'm going through something and you make me feel like I'm alone, I don't need you. I might as well be alone. So that's why I only surround myself with people that really care about me, that really love me, and I don't have to second guess that. If I'm going through something, I can lean on them and not feel afraid of them, pushing me away or making me feel like I'm a burden, or that I'm crazy, or that I'm just
You are a little crazy.
I'm a little crazy.
I have to insert that. I feel like that's a lie.
I am a little crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
You're a little crazy.
But like that's one thing about even people in general, but more so people with mental health. Surround yourself with people that are uplifting, that actually care about you, because that also helps.
Surround yourself with love.
Yeah, surround yourself with love, because that helps your mental health in the long run. And having those negative people around you, as people like to say, that's only
the nicest way to put it.
The nicest way to put it. Like, having negative people around you is gonna, guess what, negatively affect you. Mm-hmm. So if you put people that's positive around you, that have good energy and good intentions, guess what? That's gonna make your mental health better, and it's not gonna bring out the worst of the worst, because mental health can be very bad, no matter what you have: depression, anxiety, depression, ideations, all that stuff together. Surrounding yourself with the right people will help you in the long run, and that's why I'm in the place where I am today, where I can talk about these things, because I have people that surround me and support me. So yeah, that's the best thing about it. But overall, like, I say all that to say, take care of yourself.
Take old man saying. I say all this to say.
I stole that from somebody. But surround yourself with people that love you. Surround the people that's going to support you. Don't be afraid to lean on those people. Don't be afraid to talk to those people, because talking about your issues and your situations and your well-being really does help, and it does take a lot of weight off your shoulders. And I learned that the hard way. Talking about it does help. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't be afraid to get help. And so y'all take care of yourself, please. But you got anything else you want to add to that, honey?
Nothing that I've already said.
Yeah, but
I feel like you did a real good job explaining it.
Yeah, that's
you go through it firsthand.
Yeah, it sucks. It fucking sucks.
I'm just here to be the uplifter.
And like the first episode, I said I wrote poems and whatnot, so I wanted to share a poem, to show, just where my mind goes, when I get into those states of those issues. And this is a place where it was, in the past. This isn't something that happened presently, but I put it into a story format, to try to make it a little interesting for you guys, and also for myself, because I really had a lot of fun writing this. So I wanted to share it because it does, reflect, mental health. That's what the whole story is about. And I'm gonna read the first one, and hopefully you guys enjoy. But I named it The Abyss. And there's a reason why. And, there are people who I've already read it to. and I already explained it. So, hey, here we go.
Before you read it, it's so funny to me. Like, remember going through school and they'd be like, "Okay, I want you to figure out what this stanza means in this poem." We're like, "I don't fucking know." And now here we are. I'm looking at your poem, like, "Oh, okay, I understand what this means. I get it now."
Yeah.
Why didn't I have this when I was in school?
So for context, I read it to her, and I read it to a few people,
And I was like, "What?"
they were so confused because there's so many callbacks. Because there's 2 parts. I'm only gonna read the first one, but they had so many questions because it confused them.
Excuse me?
Like, but it's.
I beg your finest pardon.
But you gotta watch You gotta watch next week's episode to put it all together and see if you can figure it out. Because what I did with it, and I didn't realize how many like little things I put in there that has callbacks.
He's trying to make his own universe.
I don't say
his
universe.
Own poetry universe.
I think it's a good one. I'm proud of it, and I hope you guys that listen to this.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, honey. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I had a lot of fun writing it, but yeah. If you can, once you see the next week's episode and you think about the poem again, I want to see
those theories in the comments.
Yeah, put them in the comments. Or go to TikTok. I might share it on TikTok. I don't know. I got to still figure out how to do clips and stuff. But yeah, it's a good poem. But anyway, let's just go ahead and start. So I named it The Abyss, and it starts. You would ask me, how are you? Now, being me, I'm gonna just give a quick answer. The usual. I'm all right. Knowing deep down, I'm curled up and crying out for help. Seeing you smile and laugh, hugging me, holding me, and looking up at me was the most beautiful thing I could ever lay eyes on. But something in me was just not right. Isn't this sight supposed to fill me with such delight? Something in me just felt lost. Now, in me, like the pages of a book, can look in my eyes and know something was just not quite right. Like the moon being out in the daylight, it's obvious, right? You being you, constantly worrying about my mental well-being, cuff my face with your soft, delicate hands and ask me once more, what's wrong? Me knowing you, I can tell you are onto me. I put on this mask, like the mask, but it's red, like the flag. Look in my eyes and see I'm screaming out, honey, help me. But like always, I'm okay, I promise. Just so I didn't cause you any worry. Now, yes, I know. I was wrong. It was wrong of me. But please, you have to understand that it's what I've always done. I bottle everything up and push it into the back of my mind until it just becomes another part of me. Not knowing, eventually, it's going to come back to haunt me. You let go of my face and ask, still with nothing but love and concern in your eyes, are you sure? Again, I answer with a smile on my face, yes, honey, I'm all right. Knowing damn well I'm dying inside, still crying, screaming, begging, and pleading for you to notice I'm lying. But again, you taking my word because your heart is filled with nothing but trust and love for me. Smile and hug me and say, okay, honey. Now I'm left with my thoughts. I stand there wondering, what is wrong with me? I got everything a man could want, right? A beautiful woman who loves and adores me, a good job and a nice car. What more could there be? Why am I feeling this way? I look a little deeper inside myself and bam, it hits me like a train speeding down the tracks with no intention to stop now. I'm lost in my thoughts, standing there trying to compose myself and tears flowing down my face like a Niagara Falls. What are these tears? Why am I crying? My vision blinded by the tears of realization, but now all of a sudden everything starts to look so clear now. I start to look around and something catches my eye. It starts to glow bright like a star in the night sky. What is that? I get a little closer and kneel down next to it, and like a punch to the gut, the breath leaves my body. Everything is so blurry again. Everything looks so blurry again. I black out, and a split second I'm back. I look down to see your face. You okay, honey? You ask me. To be continued. So that's part one I'm not gonna read the second part because I want y'all to.
I feel like I have to like do poems now just so I can contribute to this section, because I'm just sitting here like, yeah, you wrote that. I'm so proud of you. And I'm just like, should I start writing a poem? It's gonna be something stupid like a little haiku.
There's nothing wrong with that. Haikus, you can write a good haiku.
No, I cannot. It'll be something so funny. It'll be about the ducks that are outside.
Yeah, that's like 2 ducks over there. They're just chilling.
Because they knew we were filming.
Yeah.
They didn't want to honk. They didn't want to be disrespectful. That's lovely of them.
But the reason I got into poetry, I think I said it in the last or the first episode. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
It could be episode 1, episode 2. I don't know. But I got into it because, I really, really enjoy it. Which I forgot I did. 'Cause I used to write them in middle school. Mm-hmm. And I wrote like one poem that was like really, really good. But it was a corny roses are red, violets are blue type thing. The standard poem.
A love poem.
Yeah, I think it was like a love poem. I think. But
you were trying to confess to somebody? That wasn't me.
Shoot, I don't remember. That was like over 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
So?
I don't know.
The disrespect. You should have found me 12, 13 years ago.
If I did, you wouldn't like her voice. But I got into it because it really gets a lot off my chest. I can really put what was going on up here on paper, and I can make it visualization. Is that the word? Visualization. Yes, I can make a visualization of what was going up here, because when I was going through those times, like I didn't know how to tell people like what goes on there, because people would ask me like, what are you thinking? When like I was going through those things, I was talking to people about, how I was feeling. I couldn't explain it. So I was like, you know what? Like when I was writing my poems, I said, I want to do like a story type poem so I can really paint a picture in someone's head of how dark my mind got. And, I'm going to end up doing like dark poems as well to really emphasize like just how dark someone's mind can be.
I think that does help for people as well. Like when because it's hard to talk to somebody.
It's very hard.
Because you have it in your head and you think, oh, it's just going to be easy. Just say the words. And it's hard to get them out.
Oh.
So stuff like poetry,
writing a book,
even art. I've seen people display their depression through artwork. And it's extremely... It's beautiful, but it's also sad because you can feel all the emotion that they put into it. But you can tell that it helps them because it's a way to express themselves. It's a way to get it out, so it's not still stuck inside them. Yeah,
I'm gonna get better at reading them because, like, I really want to put,
It needs to be dramatic.
I want to put that feeling into it, that emotion. Like, I mean, you can read the words.
He wants you to cry, is what he's saying.
Nah, I don't want you to cry, but I want to.
Yes, he does.
I want to really get it. Like, I really want to hit home with it. But when I was writing it, I was really digging deep into where my mind was and my heart and like everything. And I'm really passionate about my poems and stuff because I feel like I really can get across, just how deep mental health goes and how dark it can get. And how emotional it can get, because like there are things in there that I put in there that I was really like I was thinking and how I really felt, like how they always say you got that little person inside you. Like I put that in this poem. Like there's that little person that really is in there, and he was hurting.
I feel like when you say little person, I immediately I don't know why he popped in my head. I just thought of Lord Farquaad, but I was like,
God,
no, wait.
That's terrible.
I think you mean like little Kenny.
Yeah, it's like it's a little Kenny in there.
Like your child, like yourself when you were a child.
Because there's people that really do say like, there's that little person in there that when they go through something traumatic, they never grow from it, and like me, I'm not in that boat, but there is a little Kenny in there that is starting to heal now. That held a lot of that pain and that hurt.
Angry and sad.
Very angry and sad. And I used to tell people that I'm always angry, and I said it back then,
That's
not
why
realizing.
He doesn't have any hair.
Yeah, like I said it back then, not really realizing that I really was angry, and I was hurt, and after 2018, like it really started to show, but. Instead of it showing physically, it was all in here. So I'm digging back in those times, and I'm really putting on paper so I can really like show people like just how far someone can go, because there were times where I would plan out, unaliving. I would sit there and I would contemplate hours on end, days on end, weeks on end, and nobody realized it, not even her. Like, she didn't even know that I was doing that. And like, it was kind of like, to me, it became so consistent that it became normal. And I was like, okay, well, I'm fine, but I would sit there and I would
like,
think,
you thought this was a normal thing.
yeah, I thought it was normal for me. Like, I thought I was like, oh, I'm fine, it's just whatever, but
it just became routine.
It really did become routine. It became routine. I'll be sitting at work thinking about that stuff, But of course, I sought the help, and I got better. But yeah, that's what I want to put in my poems, is to really bring a light to how far and how dark someone's mind can be.
I do have to say this. Just, this is a lighthearted thing. My man writes poetry. My man wrote a poem about me. Not this one. He wrote a poem about me, and it put me to tears.
Yeah. I
am the luckiest woman. I just have to say that.
Yeah.
When he read that poem for me, no one's ever written poetry about me. So that just moved me to tears. Like, I do have a Gomez Adams, and that is you.
I think I wrote 1 or 2 poems about you. I can't remember. I know I wrote 1 or 2.
Either way, I just have to brag about you because I have a Gomez Adams.
Yeah.
This is something that I would dream about, having, like, finding that, like, Prince Charming. But no, I have a Gomez Adams, and that's perfect. That's the pinnacle. That's all I need.
Yeah, I have fun writing
winning.
that. I have fun writing that poem.
Winning. That's all I have to say. I just have to brag about you, honey.
Well, it's easier for me to, like, of course I can say it, but like, I wanted to make it special. I really wanted you to know how much I love you and how much I appreciate you. So
I'm not ready to cry. You're gonna make me cry.
Well, it's true. I really wanted you to know how much I love and appreciate you. So that's why I wrote it, because like I've said many times, I tell a lot of people, and I put it in the first episode of the podcast. I think the second episode, I'm not sure, but I would not be sitting here. I would not be able to share my story. I would not be able to write poems. I would not be able to do this podcast if it was not for you, because like, I was on the verge multiple times of just ending it, or drinking myself to death, or just I went as far as like driving. I was sitting there thinking about just crashing my car and just ending it. But it was you who kept me in line and kept me like in the right state of mind. So I can't thank you enough for everything you have done for me, because there would be so many people in my life that would be hurt and upset if I would have done and went through with the things that I thought about. But you was always there with me, even in the darkest times. Even when I was causing you pain, you still stood by me. So I just have to say I thank you and I love you for that. And
I love you too.
like, that's, I don't know how else to put it. Like, that's why I wrote the poem, because like, it was a lot easier for me to put it on paper. And yeah, but there's gonna be a lot more poems that I'm gonna write about you. Don't worry.
I love you, honey.
I love you too, honey. But with that, we'll move into the next topic, which I made a TikTok about it, but it's still going around, and it's still how can I put it? It's still a hot topic, because I
feel like they'll always be a hot topic.
Oh, I think so too. But they really blew up this year, like.
And once we saw that TikTok, I think we were going to the store, and we saw 2 of them already pulled somebody over. We're gonna talk about the Georgia State Patrol.
Yeah, Georgia State Patrol. Yeah.
They had pulled over 2 people, and I'm like, God, where are they coming from?
Yeah, I just
they are out.
I'm like, I might as well, put it out there, because we live in Georgia. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Woo! But yeah, we had to talk about Georgia State Patrol, because them motherfuckers,
they
boy.
on something else. That's all I can say. They are on something else.
So Georgia State Patrol, from our first-hand experience, are like Batman of Gotham. Them motherfuckers are like what's the word? I can't. That's all I can think about Batman and Gotham. Like, they are scary. They are
terrifying.
They are terrifying. Their tickets too are terrifying. They will make you have a heart attack. I swear to God, they will.
You think it's not gonna be that bad?
No, you don't want to come. You don't want to come here. If you think you'll come here in speed, best believe there's gonna be Georgia State Patrol somewhere lurking.
You from Florida.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get you.
Oh.
They are. As a matter of fact,
they on something else. That's really all I can say.
I think I had one pull me over before. I think it was Georgia State Patrol.
But
yeah, they're terrifying. They will make you have a heart attack, even if they're not even actively like clocking you or following you. Like, if they just get behind you, you're
just
scared.
See them and you're like, oh shit.
Like if you see the TikToks about Georgia State Patrol,
it's real.
They're real. They're real. Like,
that fear. They put the fear of God in you.
They really do. Like, if you think you got a fast car because you got a Hellcat, Trackhawk, Scat Pack, it don't matter. They got it all too. They got it all too. Like, there was a video I saw.
You were not beating them.
No, I'm sorry, it wasn't a video. There was a photo I saw of, and they were sharing this publicly. They had vets. They had a freaking lifted, like, almost like a monster truck, like, in their arsenal. They had Chargers. They have everything you could think of. Scat Packs, Hellcats. Like, if you think that you gonna outrun them, no, they will chase you to the hell, and they will chase you to the hell and back, to the ends of the earth. They will chase them to the ocean if they have to. They don't care. Like, they will. If you think you can get away, like Elon Musk shot his Tesla up in the space, they will follow you there too. Like, you gonna get that ticket.
They don't care. They gonna get you somehow.
They gonna get you somehow. They don't care. Like, they
will.
Like
in what is it, Arkham Knight, the Batmobile is like turns into a fucking tank. That's what one of their cars are gonna do. It's gonna turn into a tank and it's gonna get you. They
gonna catch you one way or another. Hell, there was someone that shared a story about because they worked in Florida as an officer, and they said they're chasing the guy and he crossed state lines. So they're chasing them too, and then Georgia State Patrol gets on there and be like, "Oh, we got him." Next thing you know, they I'm studying like a motherfucker. Yeah, they pursued the guy and pit maneuvered the guy and made him flip his car twice. So,
could you imagine working for that, the Georgia State Patrol?
I would actually have fun. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't think I'm cut out for it. I think it'd be too nice. It'd be like, oh, he's going too fast. Oh, well, have a good day.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm gonna go get some donuts.
And what's funny, how you know that York State Patrol is like just terrifying. This happened Wednesday or Thursday. I was on my way to another location for work, and there was a 18-wheeler in front of me, and there was a bus, and I drive fast. I ain't gonna lie. I'm put it out there. I don't care. I like drive fast. So I proceeded to go around, like, it's a double lines, in the road separating the right side from the left side. There was nobody coming on the left side, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and go around. I then saw a black SUV. Now, I didn't get scared. I saw sheriff. I was like, oh, whatever.
Oh no.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna go around them. Even though I could, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna ride it out. Now, that fear, like, that's not fear. That's more of a fear of like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get a ticket and I can't afford it right now. But when it comes to Georgia State Patrol, there was a time where I was coming from a military base and I'm coming back home and, I'm just flying. And I slow down, I'm like, okay, I've been going too fast, a little too long. I'm pushing my luck. I'm going to slow down. I saw Georgia State Patrol sitting on the right side. I was like, oh, fuck.
I'm going to die.
And I wasn't even speeding. However, my heart dropped. I was like, oh, shit.
You thought you were fucked. You thought this was the end. Did. This is it.
I thought I was fucked, man. And, like, they were everywhere. Hell, last week I'm driving, and there was one behind me. I didn't even realize it. That motherfucker crept up on me. I wasn't speeding or nothing like that. I was actually on speed limit. But the fact that he... is shocking, I know. But I look back and I'm like, oh. My heart dropped. I did the black thing. I was like, I'm looking like that. I'm like a Mary Sue. I'm just sitting in my car, just.
I'm doing good. officer, please.
I wasn't even doing anything wrong, but I knew he's behind me, so I'm like, I don't want to give him a reason. Like, my car's already all blacked out, black tint, everything. I'm like, I'm already a prime suspect for like a drug fucking dealer. But
not a drug dealer.
like, I'm not gonna give him no other reason. Like, Georgia State, the thing about Georgia State Patrol, as crazy as they are more on point than your local police. And they will make sure that, you know, the laws are held. However, when it comes to local police, I can't talk about where we are. Our police is complete fucking shit. I mean, I got pulled over about 3 months ago at this point, I want to say. And 3 or 4 months ago. No, actually, it's been more than that. I think it was last year. I think I got pulled over for the tent thing.
Oh, yeah. So we were leaving an eyeglass place, and how we had to leave it. There was a lot of traffic coming.
Yeah.
But the cop had slowed down so we could be let out.
Yeah.
So he was behind us for a good majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then we left. We started going, and I was like, "Hey, I think I wanted to go to PetSmart for something."
Yeah, you want to
like,
go to PetSmart? Yeah.
You're like, "Okay, let me turn around up here." So we turned, and then he has already passed us, right? He suddenly flips around in the turning lane
and puts his lights on.
Puts his lights on and follows us, and we're like, what the fuck? We weren't speeding.
Nope, we weren't speeding at all.
We had our turn signals. What's going on? And so he comes out and he's like, "Hey,
where you know?" He's like, "Where are you coming from?"
Where are you coming from? We're
I'm
like, "You were just behind us."
Like, what the fuck you mean? Where do we come from? You let me in front of you. So this motherfucker then proceeded to walk around my car, looking at it, and then try to say, and
then 2 more came up behind him.
I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So it's looking like I'm a prime suspect of a freaking high crime with all these fucking officers behind me. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, he said, your tent is illegal. I'm like, no, it's not.
So he did the little
test.
He
did the little test or whatever on there, and I'm like, he went to every single window. I swear to God, every single window, and all of them were within legal limits. I believe 32 is the legal. Wow. So, and mine was at 29, and then I think 28 or 30 or something like that. But it was not legal. And so then he tried to say, your car is illegally modified. I'm like, no, it's not. All I got is some vibrant bottles put on it, and it just sounds loud. It's not illegal to modify your car in Georgia.
Oh, so he said, I think it was like 28% or something.
It's something like that.
Oh, that's that's illegal in the state of Georgia, and I was like,
no, it's not.
It's 32%.
32 is illegal. Yeah, 32 is illegal.
32% is the illegal limit. And he's like, no, it's 28. No, it's not. It's 32.
But he was hell-bent on trying to catch me for something. So then his supervisor comes up, and they start both looking around my car, looking down. Like, I just got my car washed. My car doesn't have any scratches on or nothing like that. So
fresh and clean.
Yeah, it was fresh and clean car.
It was fresh out the shower.
So baby power. So this motherfucker did try to say, "Oh, we're looking for a car in a that ran through somebody's yard." I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, look at my car. It is clean. It is just washed. It is waxed. You ain't gonna find no dirt on my car.
And 2, your buddy just saw us come out of the eyeglass place. He let us out, and he followed us. He was right behind us until we turned.
After he had asked us where we came from, he's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going home." Actually, no, I'm sorry. No, he said, "Where did you just come from?" I'm like, "I came from home." Mm-hmm. He's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Well, I was going to PetSmart."
Yeah.
And he was
I don't
like,
go anywhere now.
And he's like, "Well, where were you at before that?" "I was home." Like, why do you keep going in circles with me? I'm just sitting here telling you where I came from. He's like, "Where's home?" I'm like, "Back that way." Like, over there near the fucking Walmart. Like, what else do you want me to tell you? He's like, "Well, we're looking for a car." I'm like, "Well, my car's clean, obviously."
And the funny thing is, I was like, I feel like if it was us with that car, we prominently display this little Kirby plush here. She stays in the windshield
At all times.
At all times.
Whenever we're in the car.
Like, if we're in the car, this will be in the very front. So I find it funny that if it was us that did it, the person would have been like, "Oh yeah, they had this like pink plushie in their car too.
Well, and on top of that, you would hear my car. You would hear it. It is the loudest car in our town. Like, there is no louder car.
I wouldn't say the loudest.
The loudest version of my car. Like, yeah, there ain't no other car that sounds like mine.
Just want to be the best.
I am the best, damn it. My car is the best. God damn it. You ain't gonna find a car like mine. Like, there is no other car like mine around this town. And if I ran through somebody's yard, that's gonna be the first thing they gonna say. Oh, we heard
His
it.
car was so loud.
So loud.
This pink plushie in the car. There was also this white chick in the car too.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been, number one hit. I would be like America's most wanted in this town. Like, but yeah, man. But that's the difference between local police for us and Georgia State Patrol. Local police is usually stupid. Georgia State Patrol always on point, and most of them are actually laid back. To be honest, just when it's time to go, when something's going on, they are the first one that's gonna be there. Like, they don't care. If they catch you, it's over. They ain't no running from them. Like, these motherfuckers will literally fill up their car, even though it's on full. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about Georgia State Patrol because we have first-hand experience because they're lovely people. And they're everywhere as well. Georgia, it don't matter where you go. If you think you're not going to see them, they're everywhere. They'll be in the boonies. They'll be in the cities. They will be in the parks. They will be on top of buildings. They don't care. They'll be
at your local McDonald's.
They'll be at your local McDonald's. They'll be in the top of a building at night, lurking down.
Just like Batman.
Just like Batman. They're justice for Gotham. Like, they're everywhere, man. Yeah.
I did at the same time.
we had to talk about that.
We're sharing the same brain cell right now. How did we do that?
I mean, we've been together for so long. I mean, it's kind of hard not to have the same brain cell.
Justice for Gotham.
But let's move on to the next topic, which is close to home for me, to her as well, because she's currently in the room over that way. My grandmother.
Why you gotta say like, my grandmother?
Your grandmother-in-law. Let's. Oh my God. So maybe we want to talk about her. Was this past Friday? She had an appointment. I think it was Friday, right? Friday? Was it Friday? Thursday, Friday. One of the two.
I don't know. I was off.
Yeah, I think it was Friday, Thursday or Friday. No, Thursday. Sorry, Thursday. But anyway, yeah, it was one in the week. Still Thursday. So I had to take her to an appointment. And, after appointment, which took us like 40 minutes to get there, just for it to be less than 10 minutes long. So, I was like, okay, whatever. So she's like, I want to go to the store. There's some stuff I want to get. She can't drive right now. So I was driving her. And we went to this place in Savannah where it's Sam's Club and then there's a Walmart next to it. So she's like, oh, well, we might as well just go to Sam's Club. Because, she was talking about going to one that's closer, coming back home. But I was like, well, this one's like only like 10 minutes away from where we are. So I'm like, let's go there. So they had, she's like, oh, I don't really like this Sam's Club. I was like, okay, well, fine. Like, do you want to go somewhere else? And she's like, no, let's just go. We're already here. So, okay, cool. So we proceed to park and go inside. Cool. We go inside. Cool. We go inside and we start looking at stuff. And she starts picking up this. We get to cereal. So we start looking at cereal. She's like, I like, well, here's Frosted Flakes. You like Frosted Flakes. And she's like, oh, I don't want 2 bags. I was like, well, why not? I'm like, it makes a large bag. Like, it's 2 for a cheap price. Mm-hmm. Let's get it. She's like, no, we just go to Walmart and get it. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. So then she's like, hey, go tell me what that water is over there. How much is it? So I'll go around. So I look at the water. Start telling her how much it is. I was like, oh, it's such price. And she was like, oh, no, we just go to Walmart and get it. I'm like, Walmart and Sam's basically the same thing. You just get bulk. You get bulk for cheap. I'm just like, okay, Nana, fine, whatever. Let's just go. So we proceed to get everything, and we go check out. And she's like, we start checking out, and we're good. So then we go to Walmart. This is where the story gets funny. So we go to Walmart, and we start. She's like, okay, what am I here to get? I'm like, well, didn't we just talk about that like 5 minutes ago? I'm like, yeah, we're coming here to get cereal and water, and you wanted some juice. So I'm like, okay. So we go to cereal aisle. We start looking. She said, hand me that. She points at the Frosted Flakes. I'm like, you want the small box? And she's like, no, hand me the big one. I'm like, Nana, we were just at Sam's Club. We could have got 2 bags that made the same size we're just looking at right now. And she's like, well, I didn't want 2 bags. This is 2 bags together. What do you mean you don't want it?
Okay, you have to understand grandma logic. You will never understand it.
No,
That's the point.
I swear to God, I looked at her. I'm like, are you serious? Like, we just came from Sam's Club. Like, these 2 bags were made this box. But she's like, no, I want this one. I'm like, okay, Nana, here you go, fine.
It's just okay. Yes, put it in the cart.
I was like, okay. I'm like, you win. I ain't about to fight you right now. So then we go to the water.
Oh no.
And I was like, okay. She's like, I'm like, what do you want? And she's like, I want the 40 pack. I was like, okay, fine. I said, just one? I mean, that's we're gonna get Sam's Club. I mean, it is a little cheaper, fine. So, oh no, give me 2. I'm like, Nana, we literally could have got this exact same thing over there. The exact same thing. Mm-hmm. Like, even
but it's to her, it's not the same thing though.
I guess not.
It's not the same.
I guess not. So then
it's Walmart touched.
Another I forgot. Let me take you back to Sam's Club. So we're actually looking at, I think it was toilet paper, and she's like, look, she's telling me to look at these toilet paper right now. I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at, I'm like, look, she's like, tell me what the price is. So I'm not going over there. I'm like, I can see it because it's literally from where I'm sitting to this camera. Like, I can see clear as day the price. I'm reading the price out to her. I says, oh, it's like $28.99. She said, no, not that one, the other one. I look over. I think it was like $25, something like that. She was like, just go over there. I'm like, I can see it. What's the point? I can see it clear as day. I can see it. What's the point of going over there? So I'm like, you know what? Fine. I go all the way around. I'm looking. $28.99. And she's like, no, I don't want that one. I'm like, oh my God. I'm in an aneurysm at this point. I'm just like, Nana. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I go over to the next one. I'm like,
Duckies.
Oh, they're back? No, I guess. Oh, yeah, I seen them floating.
So I'm like, water.
I'm like, Nana.
You might have to cut that part out.
No, we're going to keep it. Like, so I'm like, no. I'm like, Nana, it's the same price. It's the same exact price I just read to you just now. And she's like, no, we'll go to Walmart for it. Okay, Nana. Okay, fine. Just whatever. So, yeah, that's my grandmother in a nutshell. This woman is the most complicated. She's stubborn, most complicated woman, you know. And I think I put in my TikToks, like, you know, she went through a life-changing event, and, you know, she's kicking, man. She ain't going nowhere. Like, she is the most stubborn and strongest woman I've seen. You know, where most, you know, would not have survived what she went through, but she's back up and moving, cooking, baking. You know, she can't drive, of course, but, you know, she swears up and down she can. But I'm like, no, not until your doctor tells me. She's like, well, I need to. No, you're not, because we're not taking no chances. So I took her keys from her. I don't care.
You sound like a dad who's like, I don't care. You got a ticket, little missy.
Yeah, you ain't driving.
My keys now.
Well, that leads me into another, like, I'm going to end this episode with a rant, because I want to talk about grandparents, because I'm listening to her on her phone on our way back, and she's talking to one of her friends. And I'm like, I had to talk about this on the podcast, because I want someone to tell me, why is it that, you know, grandparents, when they're having a conversation with somebody, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I swear to God. I'm starting listening. I'm just like, what? Like, they're not finishing sentences. They're not finishing the conversation. They're just, yeah. Or they're not listening to each other. They just agree with it. It doesn't make any sense. Like, they could be talking about going to church, and they're halfway listening, and they're just like, yeah. Oh, how about Janice over there? Like, you Janice, and like, you're like, yeah. Like, what? Like, there's no like sensible conversation going on.
Okay, to you, there's no sensible conversation, but to them, they are having a full, in-depth conversation.
How? We're only saying one word.
You don't. Okay, I feel like when we get older, we'll be eventually doing the old people speak.
No. At that point, don't want to let me talk. I don't want to sit there and have a conversation that's like dry as can be. It don't make no sense.
Yep.
Like, I'm sitting there listening to this conversation. I'm just like, how are y'all having a conversation? How do you understand what you're saying to each other?
Yep.
Exactly. Like, they're not. There's no, like, back and forth or nothing like that. Like, every so often there might be. But literally,
maybe as you get older, you just pick up the mind reading skill. You just become Anya.
Like, someone told me, they're like, oh, maybe they're finishing other sentences. I'm like, no. There was no finishing sentences. There was no sentences. Oh, how? Like, and then they'll be talking about one thing, and then they answer that, like, they respond with a question that doesn't even correlate to what they just talked about. Like, they be talking, like I said, talking about church, and they be like, oh, did Janice ever make that banana pudding? That doesn't talk the last conversation. Why are we talking about banana pudding now? We didn't even finish the other conversation.
Maybe she's hungry.
And the crazy part, that last conversation was just the beginning of that conversation. And they asked a question to jump to another conversation. Like, my head was hurting listening to this.
I think you're thinking too much.
I'm sweating at how passionate I am about this because I really want to know. I really want to know, how can older people have a conversation that makes no sense but understand it? It's like trying to understand freaking what's that one? Morse code. There you go. I had to do it for a second. Morse code. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I just had to talk about that because I want someone to answer that. If you watch this episode, please, and you make it to the end, and you've seen this, please answer answer this because I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I don't know, man. I could keep going all day long. It just bothered me so much trying to understand that. I even asked her. I'm like, how? But, you know, I'm going to share more about my grandma because there's a lot about her that's just very interesting. I might share some TikToks eventually, but goddamn, dude, that just bothered me. I was like, that don't make any sense. I can't stand having a conversation, and then
You're
jumps
slowly turning into a grumpy old man.
I might as well be. I might dye my beard gray or something at this point, and like appear gray when the hair starts growing back. But I just had like, oh my god. But anyway, man, we're gonna end this episode. Is there anything you want to add to it, honey?
I can't think of anything now.
Well, without further ado, that's the end of this episode.
Scattered brain.
I'm scattered. Yeah, scattered brain, mentally
drained.
drained. I gotta put that into the intro. But yeah, but y'all have a lovely day. I'm done ranting. I'm sweating at this point. It's hot.
Took out a lot of energy.
And I'm hungry. So, you know, yeah, y'all have a good day. God damn it. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.